Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new here, definitely hit that subscription button down below. And if you guys enjoy some part of today's video, I'd appreciate you giving it a little thumbs up. I'd appreciate it so much. But with that said, as you can tell by the title of the video, today I'm going to be talking about three kind of major points that I learned flipping phones in 2018. If you guys are watching this video whenever you are, I'm filming this just at the beginning of 2019, so I thought I'd kind of make a year in review, just going through three of the major points of the things I learned. Obviously there's probably hundreds and hundreds of things I learned being in the phone flipping game full time. But with that said, I would be sitting here for more than like 2 hours in a video and you guys don't want to see that. So I picked out probably the three biggest ones that you guys might have some sort of takeaway with. So with that said, let's get right into today's video. So the first major point that I recognized flipping phones in 2018 was that my income was solely dictated on my willingness to go out there, put out ads, and buy phones. You guys, sorry, I'm going to continuously be referring to my little phone here where I have my notes, but going back to what I just said, my income, like the only way I would make money in the phone flipping game is going out there and putting ads. So for somebody like me flipping phones full time that doesn't have a shop or doesn't have any online business, the only way I am able to make profit is going ahead and buying phones locally. So for me, that was going out and putting ads on Facebook, Craigslist, OfferUp, pretty much anything you can kind of think of. I've tried and some have worked better than others. You guys can tell if you watch a couple of my videos in the past. If I wasn't going out there every single day and putting out ads, or even just going and searching through OfferUp if I didn't have an ad out there, if I wasn't buying a phone, I wasn't making money that day. So the idea of making $100 a day, $200 a day, $300 a day isn't possible unless I really went out there. So with that said, I realized that phone flipping really is the opposite of passive income, like 24/7. I will never understand anybody that would ever consider this a passive income stream. But with that said, it may not be passive or anything like that, but the idea and the concept are pretty easy. I mean, if you guys have learned some part of the phone flipping game from my YouTube channel, there's only a few things you need to learn to be able to be truly successful in phone flipping. So yeah, you might not have some sort of passive income where you can sit on your bed, watch TV, and still make money, but it's all about the grind, right? I mean, again, I'm going back to this point of if I wasn't going out there and putting some sort of ad out or looking for a phone, I wasn't going to buy a phone that day, and therefore I was not going to make a profit, because I've kind of gone back and forth on this point. But if I was going based on my past mentality, if I buy a phone, I'm going to make profit on it. Now I have the mentality, until I sell that phone, I'm not making profit. So even if I sold a phone that day, so let's say if it were today or whatever, and I didn't put out an ad, if I didn't buy one, I technically wasn't going to be making any money. Even if I sold one today, there isn't a phone tomorrow to be able to be sold. So with that said, I can't really have that mindset. So if you guys are looking to get in the phone flipping game and have it as a consistent income, you need to have one, consistent ads, and two, consistent mentality with going out there and buying phones every single day. So the second point that I have for this video, and this is probably going to be relatable to a lot of you that have been in this industry for a little while now, is in 2018 I learned that you should have zero emotion in the phone flipping space. It's just, obviously these are high ticket items, and sometimes you'll recognize that people try to leverage emotions into trying to negotiate a certain price, and a lot of times those are just the scams. You guys know what I'm talking about, where their mother in hospital, can you ship this? Or I'm looking for a present for my daughter, can you ship it to Florida? Obviously those are scams, so if you have seen those and are looking to potentially send a phone anytime soon to Florida, probably not the best idea. But I learned that you should never let emotions take ride in the business, and that'll apply to a lot of different business models, almost every single one of them, but especially for this game, have zero emotions in the game. It'll just cause you to, one, potentially be scammed, and two, lose out on profit that if you didn't have emotions in the game, you'd be making more of that profit anyways. So another kind of byproduct of that point is I learned that in kind of how I run my business model is I will always now buy pretty much every single phone at a bad ESM price. So I'd say probably 95% of the phones that I go ahead and buy from the local market, I buy at a bad ESM price. And I know that's pretty much, if you guys have been doing this for a while, that's pretty obvious. But for those of you that are just getting into the game or just have been in it for a few months, you might be looking at phones as just buying and hopefully they're not going to go bad or anything like that. That is the wrong mentality to have. If you want to have zero chance of getting scammed, buy phones at a bad ESN price that will change your phone flipping game literally like exponentially. You might lose out on a couple more deals, but you would be surprised how many phones that you've bought in the past you could have bought a lot lower simply at that bad ESN price, but you didn't have that mentality. So hopefully a video like this, that's why I create these, is to be able to trigger those kind of business model changes in your business yourself. So again, buy 95% of your phones at bad ESN. I know I'm going to get comments saying, what phones do you don't buy? Well, at bad ESN prices. Well, that might be like a 7 Plus that's been activated for a year and a half. Obviously, they don't have insurance on it. It's clean, maybe Verizon unlocked or AT&T unlocked, whatever it may be. Those are the kind of phones I usually won't buy. Those are the ones I'll just resell locally. So I'll buy like maybe a 7 Plus 32 gigabyte or 128 gigabyte AT&T I'll buy for $250, sell for $350 locally, and don't use that as kind of your pricing model based on your phones, because in every area has a little bit of a different kind of pricing structure. But with that said, that's what I would do. Those are the kind of phones, usually the older generation phones, I will always just flip locally, and if they're not blacklisted already, they're 99% chance not going to get blacklisted. But all these newer phones, I mean, again, I've talked about this in other videos. If somebody's coming to you with an XS Max and like you can tell it's been activated 4 days ago, and they're saying they just don't want the phone anymore, they don't like the size, that's emotion. That's all emotion. Like, always buy that phone at a bad ESN price, because sometime down the road that phone will get blacklisted or something like that. So never trust anybody, and that's a huge piece of advice that I have for you guys. And the third piece of advice, and this is something kind of going back to, I think it was the last video that I talked about. I'll link it up above. I don't know where I'm going to link it. But there's only so much you can buy buying and selling locally. And that's pretty much what I've done literally to this day still. I don't really buy online or anything like that. And I know 99% of you that are in the phone flipping space or learning to get into it will be buying and selling locally, or buying locally and selling online. You really don't buy from anywhere else. And so with that said, there's only so much money you can make. Obviously, there's going to be people that make $8,000 a month doing that, and there's going to be people that make $500 a month. That's simply due to the fact that they're just out grinding and hustling, putting out more ads out there, and that's solely up to you. But there's a point. I can't give you guys a number, but you guys know it, there's a limit you can really do, because there's only so many phones you can buy locally. I mean, for a lot of you, there's only maybe 1 or 2 in a town where you can really leverage every single day that a phone you could buy at a low enough price for us to make money. But for me, maybe in like Phoenix, Arizona, where I live, I mean, there's only so many phones I can go out there and buy every single day, because it takes time, it takes gas, it takes so many ads to get those amount of phones. So you guys can see where I'm going. Like, there's only so much, it's not really too much exponential. You can grow it to many thousands of dollars per month, but with that said, there's kind of a cap on it. So if you guys want to scale your business, either you have to get into the online spectrum of phone flipping, which can either be buying from other resellers and shipping internationally, or buying, like having a website and promoting it through paid advertising and having people ship to you from across the country just from everyday local civilians, or as I'm going to be doing in 2019, again, if you guys haven't checked that video out, it's a video just before this one, you can open up a retail location, and that's where you can tap into like mobile repair and stuff like that, and buying phones in the shop and reselling them locally. And that's where you can start to scale to the next level. And that's why I kind of decided to take that next step, was to be able to level up and kind of generate more income for me, because in a sense I love that thrill of trying to scale something. And I'm at that point where I've kind of reached my cap. And especially investing in other business models, there's only so much time I have in a day to go out and make some sort of income in the phone flipping industry. So that's pretty much all I have for you today, guys. If you guys found some sort of value out of it, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I always love to hear from you guys. I pretty much will respond to every single one of you, unless it's a hate comment. And with that said, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscription button down below. I'd appreciate you guys joining the family. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next video.